De nuevo, hoy vamos a continuar con el capítulo 5A. Today I'm going to introduce chapter 5A, the main topic. All right, chapter objectives. For communication, by the end of this chapter, you will be able to listen to and read about disasters and rescues, talk and write about how things were during your day and about disaster movies, exchange information about newsworthy events. You will use vocabulary regarding natural disasters, weather extremes, fires, the news, and rescues. And for your grammar, we're going to review the preterite and the imperfect, and then we're going to learn some other uses. We will also be learning the preterite of the verbs oír, to listen, leer, to read, creer, to believe, and destruir, to destroy. Oh, how do I go to the next slide? Okay. All right, so let's begin. So you see this little picture here. Aquí, ¿qué ves? Aquí vemos un barco, vemos agua, el mar, the sea, vemos a mujeres, chicas y niñas, right? Uy, ¿y aquí qué hay? Aquí vemos a un hombre that has fallen into the sea. So we can all see from this picture that this seems to be a really bad storm, right? Una tormenta o una tempestad, and people here seem very distressed. She's here crying. Another person here also crying, the little girl running, people screaming, right? So natural disasters. So a lot of things come to mind, right? Like rescuing, helping, crying, asking for help. All right, so with all of these thoughts in mind, let's move on into our first talk about this natural disaster topic. All right, so let's see. Cuando hay un desastre en tu comunidad, so when there is a disaster in your community, por ejemplo, un incendio, a fire, o una inundación, a flood, ayudan unas personas a otras y cómo se ayudan. So ayudan, to help. So do people help one another, unas a otras? Ayudan unas personas a otras. Do people help one another? Yes, no. In my experience, they do, usually. More than likely, a lot of people come out and help. Ellos ayudan. Y la otra pregunta, ¿cómo se ayudan? How do they help each other? Well, in many ways, en muchas maneras. Por ejemplo, you can think about this yourself, but I'm going to give you my experience. So, with this whole COVID-19 going on, mi mamá ayuda making those masks, sewing those masks for the office where she goes and pays her bill. Why? Because she went to the office, to the one company to pay all her bills, and then she saw the lady at the counter with no face mask. And there it is, my mom inquiring about how come these employees don't have any masks. And so she found out the company will not buy it, and the employees don't have money to buy their own. So she gathered her friends, and they all together are making these masks for people. So that is a way that my mom ayuda a la gente in this pandemic of COVID-19. Now, in my experience, in my lifetime, I have gone through 2 hurricanes, and yo vi que muchas personas se ayudan unas a otras. They help each other in, like, for instance, rescuing from a flood, rescatándose de una inundación. I saw people rescatando perros, rescatando gatos. People gave food to each other, shelter to each other. Muchas veces es muy bueno ver las noticias. It is good to watch the news because that way you know what's coming, right? So there are many different ways in which people help each other. So watching the news, giving each other food, los bomberos help people. Los bomberos are the firefighters. Los paramédicos ayudan. Muchas maneras como ayudarse unos a otros en un desastre natural, in a natural disaster. All right, so now that we have shaken our brains for all these words and this vocabulary that we're going to be learning, let's go ahead and let me introduce you to the vocabulary that you're going to need for today's activity. And like always, you're going to write this vocab in your notebook, and this is going to be your exit ticket. Okay? So, número uno, incendio, fire. Edificio de apartamentos. Edificio means a building. Apartamentos is an apartment. So, apartment building. Edificio de apartamentos. Hubo means there was or there were. And hubo is the preterite of haber. El huracán, the hurricane, destruyó. It means it is the preterite of destruir. It means it was destroyed or it destroyed. Like for instance, un terremoto, it is a terremoto is an earthquake. So I can say something like el terremoto destruyó el edificio de apartamentos. So it destroyed. So the word, the infinitive word is destruir, which means to destroy. So destruyó, it destroyed. Nevó, it snowed. Llovió, it rained. Durante means during. Por, it means for. La nieve, the snow. La inundación, the inundation or the flood. Horrible, horrible, like horrible. Para, we know that the literal translation for para is for, but the real actual meaning and the better translation that I prefer is that para means for the purpose of, all right? Quemarse, to get burnt. Apagar, to extinguish. Now this word apagar, we hear it often cuando yo te digo apaga la luz. So in that context, it means to turn off the light. But in the context of natural disaster, in here apagar is going to mean to extinguish, like extinguish a fire, un fuego. Apagar un fuego, okay? Explosión, an explosion. Humo, smoke. Heridos, the wounded. Escaparse, to escape. Bombero is a firefighter. Deprisa, in a hurry. El paramédico o la paramédica, the paramedics. Terremoto, an earthquake. Now, you guys, so we're done with today's vocabulary, but I want to tell you that this chapter has a lot of vocabulary. So you are going to need to learn it, all right? But I'm not going to throw it all at once. I have divided the vocabulary in sections. So this particular section right here is going to be for today's assignments. You have 2 assignments. So let's move on to that. All right, so these 2 assignments for today are auditory activities. Both of them are together in Schoology as one big quiz. All right, so when you go into Schoology, you're gonna go into, of course, the days folder. It's going to be this day. Oh, actually, That's not it. Is it this one? Incorrect day. Incorrect. Oh no. I think I have the incorrect. Oh, I know why. I have not transferred that to the other classes. All right, so capítulo 5A y después van a ir al folder de hoy, del día de hoy, and you're going to see this quiz that is called Auditory Activities, Desastres Naturales, Cierto o Falso. You're going to click on that, and the very first 6 questions is la actividad 1, and from then on is actividad 2. Now, actividad 1, you're going to be listening to the audio. The audio is going to be having some conversation, or they're going to make a statement about natural disasters like huracán, terremoto, incendio, or tormenta. And once you listen to the audio, you're going to pick which one are they talking about. The second activity, and give me a second, there's one word here that is not in your vocabulary. Tormenta. Tormenta means a storm. All right. I'm sorry about that. All right. So for activity 2, it is going to be a true and false. So this is going to be question 7 and then on. And they're going to be giving some statements which you're going to decide if they're true or false. So for instance, they're going to say something like, the firefighters cannot extinguish a fire, and that's obviously a false statement, so you will click false. Okay, so let's go and begin with auditory activity 1. I will play each audio twice, but of course in the video you can always go back.
1. Ayer ocurrió un incendio en un edificio de apartamentos. 2. Esta mañana hubo un terremoto en San Francisco. 3. El huracán destruyó muchos árboles. 4. En Chile nevó durante 3 días. 5. En Puerto Rico llovió por 4 días. 6. La inundación fue horrible para mi comunidad. 1. Ayer ocurrió un incendio en un edificio de apartamentos. 2. Esta mañana hubo un terremoto en San Francisco. 3. El huracán destruyó muchos árboles. 4. En Chile nevó durante 3 días. 5. En Puerto Rico llovió por 4 días. 6. La inundación fue horrible para mi comunidad.
Okay, that was activity number 1, and now activity number 2.
Pueden quemarse varios edificios en un incendio grande. 2. Si hay un incendio, debes apagarlo si puedes. 3. Después de una explosión, no hay humo. 4. Un paramédico ayuda a los heridos. 5. Durante un incendio, hay que escaparse deprisa. 6. En general, un bombero no puede apagar un incendio. 1. Pueden quemarse varios edificios en un incendio grande. 2. Si hay un incendio, debes apagarlo si puedes. 3. Después de una explosión, no hay humo. 4. Un paramédico ayuda a los heridos. 5. Durante un incendio, hay que escaparse deprisa. 6. En general, un bombero no puede apagar un incendio.
Okay, guys, that was activity number 2. Hasta la próxima. Bye-bye.